Hi, it's Panda Movies here. Today I'm going to explain the movie called The Wave. Warning, there are spoilers ahead. Enjoy the video. Frank, an insurance lawyer, discovers inconsistencies in a $4 million insurance policy for a firefighter who died of a heart attack lately, and is eventually persuaded to celebrate with coworker Jeff the night before, presenting the information to the company's board of directors. The two guys go to Club el Madrid, where Frank has a brief encounter with a homeless man who starts bathing in the club's sink. Frank and Jeff exchange drinks with two women, Natalie and Theresa, and the group decides to go to a home party where a man named Aeolus offers Frank and Theresa psychedelics. Theresa gives Frank the medicine, which causes him to wake up the next morning alone in the house. As Frank tries to make sense of his surroundings, an Asian family enters the residence and instantly calls the cops, leaving Frank without his wallet. Frank returns home after persuading a passing cab to carry him home for 3 times the regular fare, where he clashes with his wife, Cheryl, as he rushes to work. Frank realizes he's been taken to the workplace after slamming a bedroom door to shield himself from an alarm clock hurled by Cheryl. He's greeted by Jeff and escorted to the board meeting. Frank has terrible thoughts of the board happily reacting to the $4M policy refusal after giving the insurance claim facts. He's sick and goes to the bathroom, agreeing with Jeff that he's probably still high. Cheryl calls him and scolds him for emptying all of their bank accounts. Frank's supervisor instructs Jeff to drive him home, but the two return to the club in search of Aeolus and Frank's wallet. They decide to wait after failing to locate Theresa and Natalie. Frank realizes he can't charge his phone in Jeff's car while Jeff sleeps and smacks the dash in irritation, abruptly changing the day to night. The men join forces with Natalie, who believes she knows the guy who worked the party and offers to introduce him. The three of them try to depart in Jeff's car, but it won't start. While waiting for the car to move, Frank witnesses an accident, exits the vehicle, and awakens next to Theresa lying in a field, but quickly re-enters Jeff's vehicle as it approaches the dealer's house. Richie offers Frank a variety of medicines to bring him down inside the house, and Frank begins swallowing large amounts. Theresa says that the universe is trying to create equilibrium as he blasts away on the chair to a fabled world. Frank flashes back to inside the car with Jeff and Natalie, where Richie and Lamont are shooting at them for drugs that Frank stole. Lamont ties up Jeff and Natalie and tortures Frank when Richie brings them back to his apartment. Frank attempts to contact Cheryl to obtain the funds from her parents, but she hangs up. Frank then flashes back to the previous night's party and confronts Aeolus. He takes a seat and pulls out his wallet. During the day, Frank transports to the outside of the club and then returns to Richie's. El Madrid's homeless man arrives with $240,000 in cash. Jeff takes Natalie back to El Madrid, where they encounter Theresa, who has changed drastically. It comes out that Frank made all of the money missing from Frank's accounts while time traveling to pay Richie. Frank returns to work and is tasked with completing paperwork for a $4 million personal insurance policy. After finally understanding the universe's message, he decides to make the widow of the firefighter the beneficiary of his insurance policy. Before Frank can mail the policy, his supervisor notices it and threatens to fire him if he does not amend it. Frank ignores the warning and returns to the accident outside of the El Madrid club, where he is instantly struck by the intoxicated driver, his employer, while attempting to assist accident victims. Despite the fact that Frank dies on the car's hood, he wakes up next to the original Theresa, and the drugs he stole from Richie are discovered in the trunk of his boss's car by the cops.